Season 5 of the finals has given us two new weapons to play with, the Cerberus 12GA on the medium and the Shack 50 on the heavy. Light did not get a new weapon this season, but it did get a new gadget in the form of the Gravity Vortex, and the balance changes on the 9-3R is close enough to Embark, basically giving us a new, more useful weapon, at least for me that is. But either way, let's get into the Cerberus and the Shack. I'll tell you what they do, what they're capable of, and if I would recommend them in this current sandbox. But before that, we are very close to the 100 subscriber mark. If you like this channel and you want to support it, subscribing is the best way to do so. I really appreciate every single person who has taken a chance on me and this channel. Thank you so much. And now, back to the video. Let's start off with the Cerberus. The Cerberus is a triple-barreled break-action shotgun, loaded with incendiary shells. What that incendiary part is referring to is burn damage. Yes, the gun does do burn damage, and we'll get into that a bit later. But first, let's talk about its damage. Now, the burn damage, at least as of the time of this recording, does not work on the mannequins in the practice range. This is not the biggest issue in the game right now, but I'm just putting it out there in case Embark ever wants to fix it. I was able to get a friend to join me in a private lobby, and we did test out its optimal damage at point blank range. So on the light, the Cerberus can kill a light in 2 hits with the first shot, with the burn damage bringing the light down to 11 health. That means that one hitting a light is possible if you have something like a turret, some other form of a tick damage gadget you can use to take off like at least 11 health. Or you can follow up your shot with a melee if you are that close. Just really anything to take off just a little bit of health. You can also kill a medium in 2 hits with the burn damage on the first hit, taking the medium down to 111 health. So not as low as the light, which makes a lot of sense because it has more HP obviously. And you'll most likely need to use that second shot to get the kill. You can kill a heavy in 3 shots with the burn damage included. The heavy is brought down to 211 on the first hit and 71 on the second hit. So you know how I mentioned that we get back to the burn damage a bit later? Well, now is a bit later. The burn damage on the gun doesn't always work, and let me explain what I mean by that. The farther you go out of that point blank shotgun range, the more likely your first shot is only going to do basic damage to your opponent, so no burn damage. Now, from what we could find, the second shot will do burn damage, at least from the range you can see here on screen, and it is tied to the damage dealt by the gun itself. We tried using a turret to do like a little bit of tick damage, so technically it would still be from the player, and then followed up with a shotgun shot, but no, that's not how it works. You need to have 2 shots from the shotgun to start the ignition, at least from far away. Now, I'm not saying that you should be using a shotgun at range. It is a shotgun, obviously, but there is a shotgun on medium that does well inside of that point blank window, as well as outside of that window, and maybe even viable at mid-range in some instances, the Model 1887. Can this gun 2-hit a medium? No. But can it 2-hit a light and 3-hit a heavy? Yes. It also has 6 shots instead of 3. And I know that the reload can be a bit of a pain, but those 3 extra shots really do help. And I haven't mentioned this, but it does take 3 shots to light the gas canisters, and sometimes the shotgun just straight up destroys the goo instead of igniting it, and I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So I personally wouldn't recommend this gun. I think it needs to tap into that burn damage potential just a little bit more on the goo and the gas, along with being a little bit more forgiving at range, since the model can do well at range. Medium shotgun users are a subset that I am not a part of though, and this last bit has really just been my personal opinion. So I'd love to know what you think of the Cerberus. Do you like it, or do you think the model is better? Let me know in the comments section down below. But now, let's turn to the Shack 50. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, right out the gate, I think this fits into the sandbox a lot better than the Cerberus, and here's why. So the Shack is a high caliber auto rifle that fires multiple bullets per round. And as you can see by the stats alone, the gun sacrifices fire rate, range, and accuracy to account for its high damage. And when we look at the numbers purely based on damage, the Shack outperforms its competitors. It can kill a light in 2 crit shots and 2 body shots, it can kill a medium in 5 crits and 1 body, and it can kill a heavy in just 8 crits. To put that into some perspective, the Lewis gun can kill a light in 4 crit shots and 1 body shot, it can kill a medium in 7 crit shots and 1 body shot, and it can kill a heavy in 10 crits and 1 body shot. The M60 has even worse damage. It can kill a light in 4 crits and 2 body shots, it can kill a medium in 9 crits, and it can kill a heavy in 11 crits and 2 body shots. Now let's mention the thing you've probably been thinking this whole time, or at least I don't know what I think you might have been thinking this whole time, but what about the mag size? So yes, the damage does coincide with the mag size. The Shack has a mag size of 20, it does the most damage. The Lewis gun has a mag size of 47, it does the second most damage, and the M60 has a mag size of 70, and obviously does the least amount of damage. I do find though that the M60 is the easiest to aim out of the three, and the Lewis gun second easiest to aim, and the Shack is the most difficult to aim. Its recoil is a bit more difficult than the other two. I think that people might think that the M60 has worse recoil just because when you initially fire the gun it's kind of bad, but if you keep holding down the trigger it actually shoots really straight after that. I also found that the Shack does well at closer range, and the accuracy kind of falls off quicker than the M60 and the Lewis. So if you do play Shack, I would recommend using a more close range and aggressive play style. It can do well at range, but when I was playing with the gun, I felt like it did a lot better at closer range. The gun kind of feels like an SMG mixed with the FCAR, which that kind of sounds weird, but let me explain what that means. It's slow hitting, does a lot of damage, but does well at close range. It also has a hollow sight that is synonymous with the FCAR. On the other hand, the M60 and Lewis aren't as good at those close ranges. Again, it's just personal opinion. A lot of this going forward is going to be more personal opinion, and that's at least compared to the Shack. And again, I'm not saying that the Shack is a close range weapon. My first kill with the gun was actually at a longer range. I'm just saying that it does well at closer ranges. Do I think that the gun is better than the Lewis or M60? No, I think it's just different, if that makes sense. These three guns offer you a choice. Do you want more damage with less control and a smaller mag size? Then go with the Shack. Do you want that control and mag size and are willing to sacrifice that damage potential? In that case, go with the M60. Or do you want to land somewhere in the middle? In that case, go with the Lewis gun. I think that's a different choice for everyone, and I personally like the M60 because of its mag size. After those first few shots, it shoots pretty straight, and the 70 mag size means that I can take more risks without having to worry about reloading. This gun will definitely have a place in the meta because it provides something that is different from the other options that we already have on heavy. And with the Cerberus, I can't recommend it because of the model. Unless it taps more into that burn potential, I can't recommend it, because as it stands right now, there's not enough of a difference between these two guns for me to give the same opinion I have about the Shack compared to the M60 and Lewis. So for my heavies out there, what do you think of the Shack? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comment section down below. And again, if you like the video, subscribing is the best way to help out the channel. Let's get to 100. Thank you all for watching. See you later.